Hey everyone, welcome to another monthly market update. So today we're going to look at what happened in February to our local market. And like I'm trying to do on these monthly ones, I'm trying to shorten them so that I can get you the most relevant information, get to the point, and get you on with your day so you're not watching these really long videos. Now the quarterly ones that Josh and I do combined together obviously are going to be a little bit longer because there's a lot more information to go over. But I really want to get these ones short, to the point, and get you the information that you want. Hopefully you appreciate that, but we'll see. So let's go ahead and get started. So today we're going to look at just a real quick mortgage rate update. I'm just going to show you what mortgage rates are looking like today. Then we're going to move on to local market data for February. And then I'm going to end with just some local community updates. So what's the difference between some of the cities in our area and what are they looking at so far year to date? So, mortgage market review. Just real quick, this is where rates are today. So I pulled these from Mortgage News Daily. You can see it's an index. It's published daily around 4 o'clock. So these would have been from 4 o'clock yesterday. You can see the 30-year fixed, the average national rate was around 6.97%, which was just down a little bit. And you can see at the very bottom where the graph trends rates over the last few years, you can see that while rates have been climbing in the beginning of this year, they're still nowhere near that peak of 8% that we saw. And if you look at the rate trend, kind of gives you an idea that mortgage-backed securities have increased slightly today, which might have a minimal positive impact on rates. So positive impact means a decrease in rate. So just wanted to give you that kind of quick outline. Obviously, if you really want more detailed explanation on mortgages, I can put you in touch with Josh and he can kind of give you a breakdown on what maybe the rates are looking like locally. Because again, this is a national average. So the local real estate market. If we look at the pace of new listings, and one of the things I did on these graphs is I got rid of all of the other years. So I wanted to focus on this year, last year, and then 2019 before all the COVID craziness hit. So all the in-between years, we know what happened in those years. It was crazy. Let's kind of try to normalize and get back to relevant data. So as you can see, number of new listings coming on the market isn't really outpacing much. It's outpacing last year, but it's a little bit less than where we were in 2019. If you look at total listing count, this really gives you a good idea of activity as far as what's going on in our real estate market, because it looks at the combined total of active listings, pending listings, and sold listings. So a total picture of everything that's going on in the market. And what you can see there is we are better than last year, better than the previous years, but still nowhere near 2020 or especially nowhere near 2019. So we don't have an adequate number of homes in the market for people to buy, for people to sell. If you look at everything combined together, we're still way below where what would be considered a normal market or a balanced market. So let's look at those breakdowns individually. So we did start out this year with more listings than last year, but still, again, nowhere near that pre-pandemic 2019 level. Sorry, went back again. Number of pending listings. We are starting out with more homes on the market, means more homes going under contract. So no surprise there, starting out better than last year and actually even selling more homes than in 2019, which is an indicator that buyer demand is higher than it was in 2019. Number of sold listings is pretty much staying on pace for both last year and 2019. So what does this mean? Well, the throttle is really new listings hitting the market. It's not much else. Prices, again, have started out, if we look at the average sales price, we have started out higher than last year. And though it's a much smaller number than what we've seen in previous years, but again, we're well past 2019 levels. As far as monthly home price appreciation, this is the median price compared to the same month previous year. You can see what we looked like the last 12 months, and February was not a whole lot different. So we saw that the average price was up 2.9%, while the median price was up 4.2%. So obviously that is a much smaller jump than we saw in previous months over the last 12 months. Maybe that will normalize. Maybe we'll stay in that single digit percentage number for the year. But if you look at March of last year, that's kind of where we were in March. And then you saw a huge jump in April. May was anytime we saw an actual decline, and that was only in the average price. But then it pretty much stayed near double digits, at least between 5 and 10% for most of the months last year. So while this is a good indication, if you put it in context of last year, it looks like we're right in line to maybe do the same thing. Again, we'll just have to see. Now, this is what I wanted to talk to you about with residential market statistics. So I took some of the areas of our, obviously you can't do every town, every city, so I tried to pick the most relevant ones. If you look at all of them, the numbers are up in every city. Elizabethton did have a dip in sales so far this year, at 27% dip. Irwin is down 9% in sales so far through February. Kingsport actually had an average price drop of 5% for the first couple of months this year, but everywhere else you can see that prices are up and activity is up. So we have more homes on sale, more homes selling. And you can see the places like Elizabethton only has 1% more homes for sale, which is probably why the sales are down compared to last year. Johnson City up 14%, sales up 6%. Jonesboro up 43% and sales up 31%. Greenville seems to have had the highest median price increase of 20%, while Irwin had the highest average price increase of 24%. Kingsport actually saw a little bit, the median is the same as last year. The average was down slightly 5%. And you can look at the bottom and see kind of where the entire MLS is at so far year to date. So the first 2 months of the year, we have seen almost a 15% increase in the number of homes for sale, with a 7% increase in homes sold, while median price is up 5.4% and average is up 1.9%. So again, this report, if you wonder why these numbers look a little bit different than some of the graphs, there's a couple reasons. One, it depends on what report I pull from the MLS and how it kind of calculates things, but also it could be the time of day. I could have the graphs I did early in the morning yesterday. This one I did late in the afternoon. There could have been a couple sales that got reported from February late and got entered in before all this happened. So it's always a little bit of a moving target in the MLS, but the general picture is not just in our area, but almost in every municipality, we're seeing more inventory, more sales, and prices going up. Why are we seeing price go up with more inventory? Because the inventory levels are still less than the buyer demand that is out there. So I hope that makes sense. So final thoughts for February is simple. Hopefully mortgage rates will continue to be less volatile this year. That's kind of what all the experts are saying, but they said that at the beginning of last year, and then you saw what happened. So I'm putting it as a hope instead of a definite. So hopefully they will continue to be volatile, but I will say less volatile, but I will say if they get more volatile in a good way, meaning you'll see my last point, if there's a big drop in mortgage rates at any point in time this year, if they drop down below 6, I would say, and get near to 5, you're going to see a ton of buyers hit the market, and you're going to see the multiple offer scenarios and a huge uptick in sales prices. So it's going to create a buyer frenzy. So we're just going to have to wait and see how this year goes. That's kind of my motto the last few years is nobody can really predict anything that's going on right now, so it's a wait and see approach, and I can predict maybe next month, but that's about as far out as I'm going to try to go. Home prices in our local market will continue to climb due to the lack of adequate inventory, and that's why I can say that with certainty. We have not made up enough inventory to change that balance, so we will see home prices continue to appreciate this year. How much? That's the guess. Will it be single digits, double digits? I don't know. We were hoping for only single-digit gains last year, but we got double-digit gains. We're just going to have to wait and see. I really can't predict, but I do know they are going to go up. I just don't know by how much. New listings entering the market, like I said before, is really the throttle for sales activity. So it's not just the inventory level, but it's also the pace at which new, fresh listings are hitting the market. So that's kind of my final thoughts for this year. I'd love to know what your thoughts are. So please leave a question in the comments below. Leave a comment if you see anything that you think differently than I do. Please just put it down there. I'd love to hear from you. Love to get questions, and I'll try to my best to answer them as much as I can. And if you want to just reach out, if you don't want to make a comment on social media, but you'd rather just reach out to me, just give me a call or send me an email, and I'd be glad to talk to you and answer any questions that you have. So we're going to go ahead and end there. Like I said, I was trying to keep this really short and to the point. Once again, my name is Jay Cottrell with LPT Realty here in the Tri-Cities, and my hope is that I will be your agent for all of your real estate needs. That is it for this month. We will see you next month.